Hey, what's up, guys? This is Manny, and we're going to go ahead and review Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 8 today, Hard Home. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this review really quickly. So, starting off, we have Dany and Tyrion, and so we see Tyrion finally makes it in front of Daenerys. I really love this interaction between the two. Anytime Tyrion is on screen, it's always great. Peter Dinklage does such a great job with that character. Tyrion really saves Jorah here. I really believe that Dany might have considered having him executed, but Tyrion does save him with some of his advice for her. But we see that Jorah kind of ends up in the same predicament he was in, where he's getting kicked out again of the city, and he's kind of being left to go on alone. And he, it really upsets his plans because he thought bringing Tyrion back would get him back into good graces, but it kind of backfired on him. And so we see that he eventually goes on and sells himself back into slavery just for the opportunity to fight in front of Daenerys again. But I also think part of that is just that he knows that he's going to potentially die soon because it's grayscale, and he just wants to be near Dany when that happens or before it happens. So moving back around to Tyrion and Dany's interaction, Tyrion was able to really show some similarities between the two. I'm really describing both of them as terrible children of terrible fathers. And I think this is the first time that anybody's referred to Dany in a terrible way. She's always been kind of looked at as the good child, the savior, because of all of the people that she's been freeing. But Tyrion isn't. He's taking the wool out of everybody's eyes and really showing that Dany, while she has been liberating people, she isn't the greatest. She has done some rough things to get where she is, and she has blood on her hands as well. I like the fact that Tyrion isn't afraid to talk to Daenerys, the way he talks to her. I feel like mostly everybody kind of has sugar coated what they've wanted to say to her, including Jorah. But Tyrion just kind of speaks freely because that's how Tyrion is. He's not really afraid to speak his mind. And the last bit that I have on this segment was just the fact that I didn't really like the way Dany's intention of her quote unquote breaking the wheel. I felt like she was talking a really big game here, but for somebody who can't really control the city that they're like dominating right now, it's like I don't understand how she has so much confidence that she's going to go and disrupt an establishment of laws and traditions in another place that she hasn't been to since she was a baby. And it's kind of, she attempted to do the same thing here, disrupting the traditions and laws of this land. And we see it's not really working out for her. But I mean, I guess you have to give her props for having the confidence that she'll get the job done. But it's just kind of like, okay, you need to kind of slow your roll and realize, like, it's like she just needs to be a little more humble. But I mean, I guess we'll see how things plays out because she does have a massive army. So we'll see where it goes. Moving on to Cersei. So there's not really much here except for we see Cersei is in jail. She's trying to keep her composure. But I mean, I'd say the big takeaway from this whole segment was Cersei drinking the water off of the ground. I mean, that really showed that it's signs of her breaking. We know that Cersei is queen and that she has a lot of pride in being queen. But to see her actually start drinking water off of the ground is showing that she's kind of getting to her limits as far as like what she can handle in this captivity and trying to refuse the water and everything because she won't confess. And I'll be looking forward to seeing her break. I really think it's going to come. When we get to Sansa, we see pretty much a small scene between Sansa and Theon, but it was small but really important because Sansa finally learns that her two brothers are still alive. And so what I said last week was that it was kind of, I was thinking that Theon was kind of entering that point of no return where it's like, maybe he just is fully Reek. But I mean, right here we see he kind of gives up some information that even as Reek that he wouldn't have otherwise given up. So I feel like this is good for Sansa. I feel like this gives her a renewed sense of hope that, she does have more family alive. And it's like after last week learning about John's position in the Night's Watch and now learning that her two brothers are alive, I think that it's definitely going to rejuvenate her and start, giving her more reason to want to live and to fight and to keep going with the chance of seeing more of her family again. We see Arya is really starting to begin her training for the Faceless Gods. I believe with Arya's, we're pretty much getting close to the end of her arc as far as the season goes. I don't believe we're going to see too much more of her. Besides, I think she's probably going to end up doing an assassination for the gambler that she was charged with getting some reconnaissance on. And so I think that's pretty much where we're going to leave off with her. So I don't really think it's too much more to her story for this season, at least. With Ramsay, Ramsay really, really small segment with him, and it's just that he's going to infiltrate Stannis' army, and I'm really interested and curious to see what's going to happen with this because he asked for just 20 men, and I'm really interested to see, like, is he going to try an assassination attempt on Stannis? So this could be pretty good if this is going to be on the next episode. I really want to see what happens. Moving on to Jon. Jon had the biggest segment for this episode. It pretty much covered half of the episode, and it was him going to Hardhope to recruit the wildlings to come past the wall and to fight the White Walkers when they come. Man, Jon is one of my favorite characters, and I just love the way he's always willing. He's always willing to fight. He always has like a really leveled head, open to reason and everything. But I mean, the big story here is the White Walkers. This is the first time that we got to see the White Walkers in this light, and that is see them as an actual army. For most of these seasons, we've heard so much about White Walkers being so dangerous and how, the Night's Watch isn't really prepared to face an army of White Walkers. And most of the time when we've seen the White Walkers, they've all been one-on-one encounters where either they kill somebody or we see that they've already slaughtered people. But this is the first time that we actually got to see the king of the White Walkers, his lieutenants, all of the White Walker army, and them just descend on an entire group of people. And so we really got to see what an actual battle would look like between the White Walkers and the humans. And it really, really showed that they are thoroughly unprepared for this kind of fight. And even Jon, I think, realized that at the end that they're sailing away finally to get back to the ships. And he just has that look of hopelessness in his eyes, which is, how could we ever manage that? And it made me finally realize, like, okay, these guys are a real threat. Because White Walkers sometimes for me have been like out of sight, out of mind. I usually get so caught up in the actual Game of Thrones and what's going on with that drama that I forget that, the White Walkers are the real threat here. And it really shows that they are the actual threat. Because if they get to the wall, there will be no stopping them. And when you think about all of the armies down south, who is going to stop them? And the fact that the only thing that seems to work against them is Dragonglass or Valyrian Steel, which all is in short supply, it really makes me wonder how anybody is going to actually defeat them and where it's going to go from here. So this was definitely a great episode. I really enjoyed it, especially the fight with the White Walkers and Jon. So just leaving you guys with a few questions. Why do you think Tyrion sent Jorah away? We see that Tyrion pretty much talked Daenerys into sparing his life, but he made it a point to say that if she came back to Westeros, she could not have Jorah by her side. Was that because he doesn't want any competition when it comes to her advising? Or was it simply from a standpoint of business, kind of saying that Jorah, because people may know that he was spying on her, that it just wouldn't be a good look? So I'm actually interested to get your guys' opinion on why that is. Next question is, will Arya be able to actually kill someone that she doesn't know? Most of the time when Arya had her list of people that she wanted to kill, it was all people that did her wrong. But now she's actually about to start being an assassin for a group of people who kill people, and she doesn't really know why she's killing them. She's just kind of getting tasked with this. And so she seems excited about it now, but when it comes down to it, will this be something that she can live with? And the last question that I have really is, what do you think the death? What are the death predictions for the end of the season? I mean, we're about down to 2 episodes left for the season. We know that Game of Thrones usually ends one of the last 2 episodes with a big death, and I'm really having a hard time thinking about who it may be. My prediction is Brienne. I'm gonna say Brienne. They're going to finish out her story here. That's my prediction, but I don't know. What do you guys think? So make sure you leave your comments down at the bottom. Make sure you subscribe to the Director's Journal for more videos will be coming soon of more Game of Thrones reviews for the last 2 episodes. And also coming soon will be Marvel Phase 4 videos, really discussing, where Marvel's taking their new movies, who's been cast, who hasn't been cast, what really going to be the plot of these movies and where's it going from here. Also later on in the summer, we're going to be reviewing the new Walking Dead series that's coming this summer. And of course, any shows that are zombies, vampires, wolves, anything like that. We're going to be reviewing all of that this year, guys. So make sure you subscribe for more videos. Thanks.